all signs point, all the reports out there points to the Sixers heading towards the VJ Edgecombe sweepstakes at number 3 tomorrow. Tonight, VJ Edgecombe was talking to the media, and he had a chance to talk about the chance of playing with the 76ers.
How do you think you do fit in with Tyrese Maxey?
Yeah,
Embiid and Paul?
I feel like I'll be able to play off of them. They're great players. Embiid's an MVP of the league. Paul George is a runner-up before, so I just feel like I just fit in well with them, and even Coach Nurse, he's a defensive-minded coach, and I feel like I play a lot of defense. So yeah.
Pretty loud in there, and it's a packed room, it seems like. So, Eric, when you're picking at number 3, I like the Sixers are, how do you balance the weight of a prospect's workout performance versus how they handle themselves in interviews? VJ Edgecombe didn't exactly light it up in Philly's workout, allegedly, but the front office reportedly loved how he came across in meetings. From your perspective as a former player and someone who knows the NBA locker rooms, what should matter more, the workout or the interviews?
I mean, at the end of the day, neither should be the major stipulation. It should be the body of work for the whole process should be the decision maker. If you feel like this is one of your guys, then your evaluation should go back to all the way to high school. How was he in high school, and how was he with his teammates in college? How did he practice? How did he play a game? What was his bench behavior? What was he in pressure situations? What did he play? What did he do in big time games? What did he do? So it's the whole evaluation. Now, the interview and the workout may kind of like, turn it one way or another. You may be high, and then all of a sudden you may be 85 degrees on them, and then all of a sudden that may take you down to 70. It may take you up a little bit on how you feel about a guy. But I don't think it's the determining factor of whether you pick him. I think if you have him this high, it may kind of, what I'm saying, what it may do is it may drop him as far as him in comparison to somebody else. You may have somebody that maybe on this even scale, and then all of a sudden he work out, he may drop a little lower, or he may work out and have an interview, and then all of a sudden he jumps above that guy. So I think it comes down to kind of solidifying your evaluation, but it's the whole process that has to come into play.
Tej, your thoughts on the kind of all the reports are coming out about Edgecombe?
It's interesting to draw parallels between like basketball interview process and like regular office day job interview process, because it's like you have fit, like personality, culture fit, and then you have, a lot of places say everything else is teachable. We just want someone who can like gel, but then we'll teach you the rest, as long as you have the basic skills of how to do the job. Obviously, if you're being contemplated for the number 3 pick, you're there already, right? So so they already know he has talent, the raw talent, and he's got the right personality fit to be in the culture. Then I see why, Morey and Nurse want him. I get it. I get the attraction. But the interesting thing is, like, if Morey and Nurse are a losing streak next season away from being canned, which are some of the rumors, they're going to be one of the biggest guys in the hot seat if we don't play well, then like how much should we prioritize a guy who fits in well with like a Nurse and Morey culture? That's kind of a weird one, because these guys are probably going to maybe be gone if we struggle, right? So do you go for now, or do you go for a current regime, or do you go for maybe higher ceiling long term instead?
Yeah, but that's the question that I have for you all, and even our viewers, the people that are joining, like, because as I kind of watch, people are either seem to be pro Ace, pro VJ, but like they're both kind of like, we don't know, to be honest with you. Like we don't really know how it's going to play out. Even if you're higher on one, like we really don't know. Like they can get to the team, and then all of a sudden they could both blossom. They could both kind of stall. But as you were saying, like to me, you were saying more of a team decision. Are we going to draft someone that can play right now? Or are we going to take our time? Or are we trying to win? Though to me, those are like team decisions as far as, well, if that's the case, then trade the pick and go get some veterans. If you're saying we're trying to win right now, like I don't know. So it's at the like, how many of these young guys are we thinking can come in and
contribute right now?
Truly contribute. Now, I would hope to think that they feel like whoever they're considering can do that. I think the question that we need to ask and we need to wonder about is either one of these guys starting material? That's sort of the question. Because in order for us to really take a jump with this pick, we can have a rookie that's capable or talented enough to start. And then I think if that's the case, then you'll see a jump in the talent, jump in the team.
You mean at some point this season, right? Starting at some point.
I'm saying if they were capable during this season to be a guy that could start like a McCain, like I think with McCain, everybody was surprised about his jump. Is not necessarily that he did it; it was where he was drafted and he did it.
Yeah.
But he came in with a guy we like. Oh, they got to play him. Like, no, we got to stop playing some of these older guys. Like, we got to play him. So, are these young guys come in and kind of have the same impact as that? So you never know. Like, so it's we're not a team that's drafting high and we like, hey, we're still in the kind of truly rebuilding. We're drafting high and the expectations are to win a championship, compete for one. So the expectations that's going to be on these young guys, like we got to understand that. How many of those guys are truly coming in to be able to contribute on a team that's quote unquote, no matter how we finished last year, when we have our whole crew, the expectations are different.
Eric, so obviously right now the foregone conclusion amongst that Jonathan Gavoni from ESPN, a lot of different experts, Brett Siegel, Clutch Points. No one really knows what we're going to do tomorrow night. There's so many different things out there. But the one thing I have, Tage and I were talking about the other day was that, if we're so interested in VJ, why was a report that we traded a package to get Dylan Harper shortly after our meeting with VJ? Why did we try to bring in Ace Bailey for an interview? We were so enamored by VJ. Why would we try to bring in Ace after the fact anyway? So I guess it's like, for me, I'm saying that to say that I don't think it's a foregone conclusion that VJ is going to be that guy at number 3. What do you make about the reports that everyone's saying, oh, it's foregone that number 3 tomorrow, it's probably going to be VJ Edgecombe at the 3? Do you think it's that?
I think you have – it's a lot of smoke screens put out there because I still think there's moves to be made. And you just want to – you're not going to show your cards. I just think people are just not showing their cards. That's all I think it is. You bring a guy in and you don't want to necessarily be tell him where you are. Say there may be a team that's high on VJ that would trade up and take him at number 2. Like, we don't know. So you can't necessarily say you high him on number 3, then all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying? You don't know. So I just think there's smoke screens. I do think that they have 3 or 4 guys that they would take at number 3. And based on 1 and 2, they probably have their idea of 1 and 2. We all know, I guess it's a 99.9% sure we know who number 1 is going to be.
Yep.
Everyone's saying Harper is going to be number 2. I'm still not firm that that's as high of a percentage as people make it seem. I'm still not there yet. It's the Spurs. Like, you never know with them. And they still have those 2 guards. It's like you just never. And it's not that Harp can't, young Harp can't play, and he shouldn't be that guy. It's just the fact of what the Spurs have. Like, that's why I'm not sold on that the Spurs is just going to take this guy and figure it out. I'm just not sold on that. I'm probably 60% that they'll draft him, but that 40% is still, I don't know. So you can't necessarily be sold one way or kind of like sell what you're going to do one way because someone may like a guy. Say, for instance, Harper falls to 3, right? Just say, for instance, he falls to 3.
Who goes to 2 in that scenario?
Just say VJ. Say somebody liked him, right?
Okay.
Spurs liked him. Just say somebody liked him. Spurs made a trade, and that particular team liked him, and they picked him at 2. Now all of a sudden, Harper is 3, right? Do somebody come in and say, "Well, we like Harper at number 3, and this is what we have." So sometimes you can't necessarily put your eggs in one basket because you don't really know how it's going to play out, especially unless you're picking number 1. So I think there's a lot of smoke screens to say that we like multiple guys and we're high on all of them. So people don't know, or people want to try to come up and get in and offer you a trade package that may be this better than your current situation. So you got to kind of play it to the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the reports are that the Spurs it's going to take a wild, ridiculous package in order for them to move off of number 2. That's the report.
I think somebody just posted that also, and they're like, I've never seen where the gap and I agree with it. Outside of Cooper Flag, I've never really seen where the gap is so big amongst the other guys. Like I from what I've seen a lot of those guys since they've been in high school. And I watched them in college. Like I don't see where the gap is so huge. Now, some of them do things better. Some of them are bigger. Some of them may have a better fit because of their size or their position. They may have a better fit for particular teams. But I just don't see from a talent standpoint where it's so different amongst the guys.
Overall talent.
Overall talent behind Flag.
Yeah.
I just don't see where it's that huge of a difference. Now, which direction you decide to go, that's on each team and their needs and how they evaluate them. Now, teams may feel, obviously teams may feel differently than me. I'm just saying, from what I've seen in most of these guys, I don't think that the talent difference overall is that huge of a gap.
I think pro readiness too. I think Flag's is by far the most pro ready player like now, where the other guys I think have to work into their ceilings a little more.
Yeah, I mean, technically, Harp has a pro body. You know what I'm saying? At the guard, he'll be bigger than every guard we have.
He'd be the number 2.
He'll be bigger than every guard that we have right now.
Yeah, he would be. Yeah.
So, I don't know. I don't know if he'll be more talented than the guards we have, but he'll definitely be bigger.
Yeah.
Eric, there's a lot of comments in the chat, pretty much saying VJ Edgecombe is a Josh Hart, and we should not be taking a Josh Hart at number 3.
They said Josh Hart.
Josh Hart.
No, the other one was a Josh Okogie too.
Oh man, they're going in on VJ, aren't they? What's the issue with VJ? Like why the majority don't like him?
Do you know what it is? It's the fact that I think guys get so tied to their guy, and in this case, it's probably Ace. So anything away from their guy, it's like personal. That's what I think. I think it's not as bad against VJ. It's more you're not taking Ace because you like that guy.
Well, but I also think it comes down to being hurt in the past when we've drafted guys like, Zaire Smith, right? And he was kind of an athletic 2 guard. And I feel like a lot of people are just kind of like, I don't want another Zaire. And that's kind of where I think this is coming from. Where Ace, we haven't had a guy like.
But I mean, my son played against Zaire Smith in high school, and we were shocked that he was drafted that high. Like wow. We played against him in high school, so it wasn't like he wasn't a pro. I'm just saying, like after I think he played 1 year or whatever, like we were like, wow, this like he was playing the forward position in high school. Then he went, he showed his athletic ability, but I was just surprised. So
yeah,
and I just think some guys like him, Philly's not the easiest place to go to.
Yeah, he also had that unfortunately eating thing, that allergy. I mean, that was just like that was a freak thing.
I do think
Iguodala was also an athletic two guard, though. That worked out.
Let me ask you all this question, and anybody can watch and can kind of give their opinion on it. You like it? Say for instance, it comes down to VJ and Ace, and even let's put Harper in this too. Like, say for instance, their talents are all equal for the most part.
Okay.
Who is the better fit? Because VJ's the better athlete. Harper's quote unquote the better all around player,
more polished.
And Ace probably has the bigger ceiling. Like, but who's the better fit for who we have right now? Say, for instance, everybody's healthy, playing, their average game. Who's the better fit for the Sixers?
Ace.
Yeah, Ace.
Why though? What makes him the better fit?
You mean with current roster construction?
Yeah, our current roster. Like, what makes him better fit?
I think if all guys were equal, I think there's a path for more minutes available at the 3 for Ace.
You think Ace is a 3?
I mean,
for us,
what's
so
what Paul? I mean, 4.
Play by the 4, yeah.
Ooh. Didn't Paul tell y'all he didn't want to play 4?
That's true.
I mean,
I'm just saying. You got to say what's the best fit for our team. Now, you telling me that Paul told y'all he didn't want to play 4. You sitting up here saying we're going to play him at 4.
Well,
so you're saying Ace is a better 3 than Paul? Or would Paul be the 3 and Ace would be the 4?
Yeah, I think you kind of flexibility between the two of them, go 3 or 4. With
I think Ace has a path at 4. He could. I think it would take some time. I think he's raw. So, I mean, that's part of the issue right there.
You think we need more size? Even though he's not as tall as he was, but you think we still need more size?
We need more length. We need more length. Length, size, yeah. I just think we have how many guards at this point? I mean,
and with also
if we resign Grimes, it's 3 guards with a lot of minutes. We're gonna get a lot of minutes.
So if y'all had it your way, you would resign Grimes and pick Ace. If y'all had it your way, that's what you would do.
In your hypothetical of everyone being completely equal in talent?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Especially because that means Yabu's probably gone too. So we're going to be missing some size there. Yeah, teacher got game. We literally have no power forward when Yabu leaves, and we need to draft a 7-footer over a power forward in the second round.
Yeah. What about you?
So do y'all think that part of the VJ, like people frowning on him, is a part of the we don't need him as much? Or they really don't like him and his talent?
I think the VJ haters are big Ace lovers. That's one. I think people are worried about, like Marcus said, a little worried about the athletic 2 who doesn't have like a knockdown jump, a 3-pointer. The raw thing, I get, they're all raw though, so I don't think that's a valid reason. And then the other thing would be, I guess, need. The 3rd or 4th would be need. They just think with Grimes, I think everyone assumes Grimes is going to get re-signed.
Yeah, that's the common thing being posted there. Nelson Senior Eastno, what the F do we have to do to get a 4? And the jersey in the back is fire.
Oh yeah, I'll get my jerseys in the house. I'm running low on jerseys, man. I gotta preserve them. I'm running low on them, and people be getting them. I guess we'll have a little special show one time and give away a jersey. I got a few we can do that for. We'll try to figure out a good time during the season to make that happen.
Let's do that. I love that.
And with the that jersey coming back this year,
it's true.
Yeah, I got quite a few of them. I mean, everybody wants the black one, so you know what I'm saying. Like everybody wants the black one. If not the black one, then the blue one. So I got to make sure. I got to see how many I have, but I do have some stored up. I got to count them and see how many I have.
That's sweet.
Yeah, everybody. Nice. Trust me, that black one is like on high requests.
I was in Cabo, walking around the resort, and I was wearing my black champion Aaron McKee jersey.
Yeah.
And I got like 6 compliments walking through that place. Like got a Toronto Blue Jay fan, different fans were like, love that jersey, man. I just love that jersey so much. I love that Sixer jersey. It was just like, man. Yeah, everyone loves that one.
Yeah, it's going to be sweet. They're bringing it back this year. So one thing all Sixers fans will be happy about, at least, regardless of who we pick tomorrow, we have the black jersey coming back.
Yeah, silver lining.
Before we move to Ace, I know there'll be a big debate, but people are asking about your take on Trey Johnson or Con Kneppel, Eric. How do you think those guys fit in Philly?
See, I think that I think it comes down to, do you want a spot up shooter or do you want to score? Johnson can shoot the ball, but I think he's more of a scorer. And Con Kneppel, I think, is just going to be a more of a spot up guy. So I think the way that I probably say like Johnson more. I think he has more potential, but I do feel that Kneppel probably fits our team more because we have so many ball dominant guys.
Yeah.
So it's probably a better fit there that you can have someone that could, spread the court, knock down the shot. If you look at our roster, we really don't have a guy that's what he does. He just spots up, knocks it down. And the more he's able to do outside of that is better for us. But he may be a better fit. Even though, Johnson's probably, give you more scoring. But I would probably choose him as far as better fit for our team because of that, because of his ability to spread the court.
And when the offense ran through him when Cooper Flag was down, Kneppel delivered, man.
Yeah, so from that standpoint, I think they both could maybe struggle defensively. But to me, it comes down to better fit because I don't think either guy really play very much with the basketball in their hands with us.
Yeah. Brian Pumper not drafting a dude named Nipples or Cockbrenner. I've seen Brian Pumper also dog VJ's first name, calling him Valdez. I don't want somebody named Valdez on our team, which I don't get. I don't get that. But Brian, you're amusing us, buddy. DC Mars says Trey's the best scorer in the draft.
Yeah, my son he was in Dallas. My older son still lived there. He had been telling me about Trey Johnson since he was a sophomore in high school. Telling me it was this kid that could really score. Like, he had been telling me about him for a while. I really didn't watch him until maybe going into his senior year. And I think he's definitely the best scorer out of all those top players. Just flat out score the basketball. He gets it done. I think, like, for what he did at Texas, and I just think the SEC was rough this year with that, that talent load in that conference. So I do feel like he may be one guy that I think is maybe getting overlooked a little bit. So it wouldn't surprise me if he made probably the biggest jump that first year. That wouldn't surprise me if he did.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a guy that I've seen some mocks have us. If we were going to go that route, maybe trade back, get some assets, and maybe take one of those two guys, Connor or Trey Johnson.
It would make sense, yeah.
Doug Holiday, Eric Snow, can you teach Maxey how to stay in front of his man and make an entry pass?
Man.
You guys are harsh.
As long as Maxey can teach me to score the way he does.
There you go.